Okay, so let's take a look at how you can data load your Excel data into Oracle's autonomous database. So first thing that we are going to do is we are going to follow a flow where we go to Oracle database, then click on autonomous database. Then next thing is we are going to create one autonomous database. So let's say I use display name and choose the compartment, then choose the workload between data warehouse or ATP. Then you can choose the always free or your paid instance depending on your choice. Then accordingly the infrastructure will also get adjusted, right? Then you also have to choose the CPU count. One CPU is good enough. You can choose the storage as per your requirement. Then comes the admin password. Admin is already selected. Password you can add up. Then comes option to choose the network access, right? Once you choose one of that, you are good to go, right? Now the thing is, you will have to think of licenses included or bringing your own. So choosing the license is good enough. Then create the autonomous database. That should look something like this once created, right? So here, as you can see, we have our autonomous ATP database, and in which I will have to click database actions. Now this should open in a new tab where you will have to enter the username admin. Now paste the password that you just created while creating the instance of it. Now once you paste the password and sign in, you will log into Oracle database action. Now here you have section like development, data studio, administration and monitoring. Here you also have downloads and related service option, right? So in here, if you go to the top tab, you will access all the features, right? So you will have to start with data load because I want to load the Excel data into my autonomous database. So I will choose data load. You can go to this particular section from top of the menu or from the launchpad itself, right? Now pick the option for load data, right? Because I want to do it through file, so I will choose the next option, local file. If you have database, you can select that. Alternatively, if you have link or feed, you can choose selectively, but in this case Excel data means Excel file, which could be your file or online URL. So choose the file one, click next. Right now the option that we see here is simply dropping the file or selecting. So I will have to navigate to the folder where I have Excel data. So here you see orders, and then we have HR data. So I will select the HR data. I will click on open. Then it will show me that default table will be data, right? So what I will do is go to settings by selecting the data here, then try to change this name to, let's say, something like users, right? You can also use employees or even sales or department, etc., right? So all of this that you can add up there, and here you have ID, name, email, phone and department, right? So you have your structure ready for the table as well, and the command of create table there. You will find that column header will be on the left hand side here, and we have selected that option. So the first row will be of your column headers, right? Then we close this, right? And here you will find your new table's name will be users. Now we will click on start, which should start the job for loading the data, and it will finish. will show you that 500 loaded rows, right? So once we are done, we will go back to this place again. If you want to check out how the data is, so you can go to your development and SQL. This will open the editor, right? So here you see your newly created tables, and if you want to access the data in this, simply use select query, then all from users, and then use semicolon and hit enter. So that should show you all the available rows and columns within the imported data. Notice that the amount of queries that we are executing will be counted against the use we are allowed to do within free tier. So there are particular higher number of executions that we can do, but 2 or 3 won't hurt, right? But to keep in mind that whatever you do on cloud will be used in the counter, right? Now the thing is, as you can see, we have successfully imported the Excel data into your autonomous database through database actions section, and here you can see the data load is again quickly possible. Simply drag and drop from here and keep adding. So even if you create your table, you will be able to import your data, right? So it's not like you are stuck with this and you can't do any further data import, etc. So even for existing database, you can use the data loading options. So you have your table, you have option for data load, and you have your data, right? So everything you wanted within this flow. So if we take a look at that, so let's take a look at flow here. So we started from Oracle Cloud, then we went to our Oracle database, then selected autonomous database, right? And from there I created one instance, so I can show you again if you want. So here I selected my compartment, then display names, I selected the unique ones and both of them same again, then selected the workload type. So it could be data warehouse or ATP, transaction processing. JSON and Apex I am excluding, because if you want to work with a lot of data, select between the data warehouse or ATP. Don't select JSON or Apex, right? So for even for this particular example, I think ATP or data warehouse should work. Now another part is choosing the deployment. So considering those who are on free tier should choose shared infrastructure, and always free, if you checked, it will automatically go to shared infrastructure as it is. After that, for always free, there isn't much choice. In case of database version, you will go with what your region supports. Also there is a CPU count thing limit for free tier user, right? So if you are paying for this, you can select as much as you want, you will be billed against that, right? Then you have admin credentials, so you will have to add password for this particular username admin, right? This cannot be edited, this is the default one that we get. So trying to get the password around 12 to 20 characters long, right? And after that you will have to also keep this mutual TLS authentication option and choose between secure access from anywhere or from selected VCN or private endpoint. So more you go restricted, less you will be able to access from everywhere, right? So another point is our license. So for free users, license is included, so go with that option, right? So don't try to change this, and then finally click on create autonomous database, right? And once you do, you will be here. So it was a long flow actually just to get the data load, but I am explaining from the start, right? So next thing will be database action, and here you see I'm already logged in, so it will just take me to the launchpad, and this data studio is what we need. Right here we have data load option, so I will select this. I can select this from here or from the top menu where we have data load option. Select this and it should show you the page. Let me go there so that you get the idea. Page like this. This is the page that will show you how to upload your files, right? So you load the data, then choose the local files, click next. Now here you can drop variety of files: CSV, TSV, JSON file, XML, Excel file, and even text file if I'm not wrong. So these type of files accepted as long as they have some tabular structure and accepted as a data load option. So once you do that, once you load the data, you will have to access it through your SQL page, right? So this is basically an editor that will allow you to work with your data that you just uploaded. So for example, let's say I'm not happy with the data that I've got and I want to get rid of this. So I will use drop table and then users and then use semicolon and run this, right? And if I check the status, it will show me that the table has been dropped. And if I refresh this, the table is gone from here as well. So all of these table related operations you can do right from this SQL editor. So I explained to you how you can get the Excel data into your autonomous database using Oracle database actions and data load section.